What kind of manga is Cora into?
Just your basic shoujo stuff. I mean, obviously, Naoko Takeuchi, Moto, Hagio. She's very...
Welcome back to Q-Dads. I'm Steve. I'm here with episode 7 of Monarch. This episode is filled with more backstory, a lot more info into Monarch, and also has a massively intriguing ending. Not to mention giving us a whole new respect for Tim. Episode 7, titled Will the Real May Please Stand Up, starts off with Tim as he rises from the ground, which is a brilliant scene to see. I'm so pleased we've not seen the end of him. Ben did say in our cast that there was no way Tim was dead, so I guess he gets a mark on the scoreboard of truth for that. Either way, I think Tim's my favourite character and it's good to see him again. May's then kidnapped in the bathroom of the airport, and here we get our first May flashback. She's having dinner with Brenda for a job at AET because of May's skill set, reminding us how brilliant she is behind the keyboard. Kate attempts to find May, but is unable to. Now, here's a little moan / continuity error I think I found. We're supposed to be in Algeria, yet when Kate searches the stalls, we clearly see that the doors have a massive opening at the bottom. Now, these kind of stalls are mainly found in America, as most of the rest of the world would like privacy. So I thought I'd just drop that load on you to show we do actually look for the finer details and we're not just talking crap. Kentaro is ready to call it a day, but he ends up sitting down with Tim to discuss more about Monarch and their family's legacy. At this point, Tim updates Natalia about Godzilla, but I must point out here that no one seems to give a crap about Godzilla, as no one goes after him and no one is bothered that he's just emerged. We've just seen the re-emergence of a Titan and no one is batting an eyelid. And where has Hiroshi gone? Nobody really cares that the man popped up, summoned Godzilla and then disappeared again. Anyway, we head to Monarch Outpost 88, where Lee and Michelle take full control with their newly acquired team. We learn that May's real name is Cora, and she did end up working for AET, who promised something big which doesn't seem to go her way. Kentaro and Kate work with Tim to help track down Cora, with them turning up at the family home. Tim here beautifully says, "Follow my lead," and then trips up, which, if you listen closely, you can hear the music cuts off too. Great detail.
So follow my lead, okay?
At the moment, I'm rating Tim highly, and even more now as he's a very knowledgeable man about manga, which is quite impressive, as clearly he's a man of culture, referencing the author of Dragon Ball. Leela confronts Kentaro and Kate about Cora, and we find out that AET, the company that she worked for, is the ones after her. The reason being that Cora actually hacked AET to discover animal testing through cybernetics. Here, you can see that AET was actually with Monarch, as you can tell from the screensaver on the screen before she accessed it. More on this in a moment. Tim is taken by the director, and Kate makes a deal to work with Monarch and help find Shaw. Natalia agrees and manages to free Cora, allowing her to go home and see her family. Tim then makes a decision and persuades Natalia to bring Monarch out of the shadows, but in doing so creates their rival, Apex Cybernetics. We end the show with Lee as he blows open the Alaskan Rift. Well, actually he closes it. He makes a comment about it, saying, "Now watch this." Had he seen that before or done something like it before? Overall, the episode was great, especially as we found out the creation of Apex Cybernetics, and they actually had an early tie with Monarch. We remember these from the Godzilla vs Kong film, as they secretly built the Mecha Godzilla, but I feel we are going to see more of these in the upcoming Godzilla and Kong film. Is this why Godzilla and Kong are actually running together? Because they are being mind controlled? I don't think this is the end of Apex Cybernetics in the Monarch series either. And I love seeing things tied into the movies. Now, earlier on, we mentioned the scene where Cora first discovers the animal testing footage. For a split second, we saw that Monarch logo. We had to go back and double check it was the case. Through the episode, I question if AET and Monarch were in some form of partnership.
Indeed. If this were real, we would have had advance warning.
Bit of trouble with AET.
As the director's face changed in one of the scenes when the company was mentioned. Could there be a secret link that the director only knew bits about. The only thing I question is Brenda seemed pleased to tell Walter about this new agreement. This all ties back into the fact, as soon as Cora mentioned the tech, cybernetic neural interface, that clearly this was the precursor to the tech in Godzilla vs. Kong, and this just made me think these companies must have been working in cahoots for a long time by the time the films roll around. Now, we know they used Ghidorah's head as part of the interface with Mechagodzilla, so are Apex Cybernetics part of the group that also discovers Ghidorah, on a march to study more on the Titans? I'm hoping Apex become a bigger part in the Monarch series, almost showing us two sides of a coin. Monarch theoretically trying to stop the Titans by understanding them, and Apex trying to stop the Titans by becoming stronger and more powerful than the Titans are. Let me know your thoughts. Now I want to talk about Lee, as the end of the episode reveals that he's closing what we are calling openings to Hollow Earth. But why? What does Lee know about Hollow Earth? And is this connected to that 1959 scene we saw with Keiko disappearing? He mentioned the phrase, "watch this." This implied that he'd done this before, or at least had seen something like it before. And this all ties back to the fact we keep saying Lee knows more than he's letting on. Last week, I did start to question, is Lee now a bad person, following the same path as the eco-terrorists from the next film? However, I changed my mind on this. I now think his plan is to plug all the holes back to Hollow Earth. Could this be why he wants Bill's files? Had Bill collated all the access points to Hollow Earth? It would make sense then why Lee knew about the Alaskan one. I must say though, something must go wrong with Lee's plan, as clearly in the next couple of films, the entrances to Hollow Earth are not all closed, and Godzilla even makes a new one. What I'm thinking is maybe by closing the holes, is it actually causing the other entrances to become more active? Almost like if you plug the holes of a leaking hose, the pressure increases. Maybe this is why we see more Titans in the 2019 film than we do now. As Lee starts to close the holes, this causes more Titans to rise to the surface. This could be the 1,000 times worse than G-Day event they spoke about last week. I'm pleased we've had more backstory come our way, and showing us the creation of Apex and the closing of Hollow Earth entrances is awesome, but this just leaves me with more questions, as well as, what is Hiroshi even doing now? I did notice this episode lacked any 1950s flashbacks, and with only 3 episodes to go, I think we'll be getting the final bits of those 1950s flashbacks soon. Maybe Apple is teasing us ready for that episode 9 drop in the new year, assuming episode 9 will be the big one. Anyways, let us know your thoughts. Are you enjoying the series? Did you happen to spot the Monarch logo on the screen? And finally, if you've seen Hiroshi, can you call this number 0800, here he is. Thanks for watching. There won't be a cast now till the new year, as we're spending time with our families. So as always, catch you next time with something new.